One of the things my students always ask me is, Marisa, why do I keep getting distracted by new business ideas? And what do I do about that? And there's actually 3 reasons that I see emerging business owners get distracted and move away from something that could work and start to try all sorts of things that won't necessarily work. And the first reason is that we are taught that the grass is greener on the other side. I don't know about you, but I watched Wizard of Oz when I was a kid. And I remember Judy Garland singing, "Somewhere over the rainbow, way out there." And I think so often in our culture, we spend this time daydreaming and imagining other lives for ourselves, or imagining ourselves in other people's lives and wondering what it must be like, and thinking they've got it really good. But the thing that I know after coaching and training over 15,000 students is that everybody has problems. And everybody also has moments of beauty and truth and excitement and joy. And it's a choice to focus on your life versus trying to live all of these parallel lives simultaneously. There's this amazing Native American expression that you can spend your entire life in your own backyard and never truly know a blade of grass. And so many of us jump from thing to thing to thing to thing versus really owning and focusing on one thing and going so deep that you see more and more layers of that thing. So you can choose to know something really well, or you can try to know 1,000 things a little bit. And while it's exciting and it's fun and you've got that novelty and you get your dopamine going by learning a little bit about a lot, that's not the way to build a successful business, because you've got to develop specialized knowledge. And the only way to do that is through focus. Not looking for where the grass is greener, but by focusing on this little patch of lawn you got right there in front of you. And that also relates to the second big reason why people keep getting distracted by new business ideas. And that's this instant gratification, fast food culture that many of us also grew up in, where we want to be able to kind of place the order for money and success and clients. And then 5 minutes later, bada bing, bada boom, here are the money and the clients and whatever it is that we imagine and that we want. And the truth is, anything worth doing in life, sometimes it takes a little more commitment, a little more effort, persistence, desire, focus. And we all grew up on the internet and social media. Some of us, it came a little later in our lives than others. You know, for me, I didn't have the internet until I was like 8 or 9 or 10 years old. But when it came, it opened up this whole new world. And with it, that ability to go from thing to thing to thing, as well as the ability to just click away or click somewhere different if what you were seeing wasn't interesting or engaging enough. I was having a conversation actually last night on the massage table. I was talking to my body worker who was a few years younger than I about how there didn't used to be a pause button. So when I watched TV as a kid, I couldn't hit pause. It means that I had to watch it then and there. I couldn't go and get distracted by 5 other things and then come back. I couldn't miss the opening and then find it again. I couldn't, if I did miss the open, go and look it up online and then get whatever it was. So I had to kind of show up at a particular time and watch the thing from beginning to end. And that's something that we no longer have to do. So for many of us, we've lost that focus. We've lost that concentration. We've lost that persistence of waiting and cultivating and nurturing something until we get a result. And if you want to grow something, if you want to grow a plant, that's what you got to do. And growing a business is not all that different. So rather than expecting to put a seed in the ground and come up with an oak tree 5 hours later, maybe you put a seed in the ground and you have the beginnings of an oak tree in 5 years. So that's something that we need to start paying more attention to, having that long-term focus. And I get that it's challenging when the world is moving so fast. But when you've got that burning desire and you put everything you've got, towards that desire, that's when the world starts to open to you. And you start to have the resources and the opportunities that only come with that level of focus. So we talked about the 2 reasons so far that many people get distracted by new ideas. The idea that the grass is greener on the other side, this desire for instant gratification and a fast food culture and instantaneous results. And the 3rd reason is honestly the gnarliest reason of all, and that is the fear of commitment. Because if you claim something, if you go all in, What happens if you fail? Is it the loss of faith? Is it your family being able to say, I told you so? Why did you even try? Or what happens if you succeed? And then you think, oh my gosh, now people are going to want things from me. I'm going to have to deliver. I'm going to have to show up. I'm going to have to go out of my way in all of these different, ways. So we get distracted and find ourselves chasing one thing after another because we don't want to commit. Because when we commit, that's when the rubber meets the road. And we have to back our commitment with our actions and have to show up to that commitment day after day, even when it's hard, even when we're not seeing instant gratification results, even when something comes along that feels greener in the moment. But of course, once you chase that thing, the same pattern's going to happen all over again. So it's time to face that fear of commitment and ask yourself, what are you really afraid of? What's the worst thing that can happen? If you go all in, you commit yourself, you show up fully, you decide to play ball. The worst thing that can happen is you strike out. But guess what? In swinging the bat, you learn how to swing the bat. And if you swing that bat often enough, even if you miss over and over and again, eventually you're going to hit that ball. You're going to get on base. You might even knock it out of the park. So commitment is a step. So if you want to succeed in business, you've got to choose, you've got to focus, you've got to make that commitment, and you've got to do it over the long term, or at least long enough to get results. Many people try something for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days and they don't see that instant result, or they get one no, or one challenge arises, or whatever it happens to be, or they feel stretched, they feel uncomfortable, and they think, I'm just going to pack it in and call it a day. But you're just getting started. And the more you do something, the more comfortable it will feel. And the first time you do something, it's always the hardest. So by going from thing to thing to thing to thing and having a lot of first dates, you're just making your life hard over and over and over and over again. And while it seems exciting, it doesn't get you anywhere. So my name's Marisa Murgatroyd, and I've coached and mentored over 15,000 students and supported them in launching their business. And I gotta say, it all starts with making a commitment. Not just now, but for the next 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 years. And ignoring all the other things that you could be doing unless it lines up with your commitment and you make the conscious choice to evolve your commitment. And just go all in and play ball. So let me know which of these 3 challenges you're facing, whether it's the grass is always greener on the other side challenge, or whether it's the instant gratification challenge, or whether it's the fear of commitment, or whether it's all 3, and which one you're committing to let go of so you can get on the field and you can make it happen. All right, give me a like, give me a subscribe, let me know what you're committing to doing in the chat, and I'll see you in the next video.